start now. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dalia. I'm actually the director for Yayasan UTP, and also I'm the chairperson for EAPC Malaysia for 2021. It's very nice to see all of you. I hope you all are doing well and keeping well despite the challenges that we are facing right now. So as we work to create light for others, we naturally light our own way. Alumni relations has always been our most cherished stakeholders, and it's vital that we emphasize on what is critical and what is important. Hence, without further ado, welcome to Education Advancement Professionals Committee of Malaysia, EAPC. It is important to note that this is the first EAPC meeting for this year, 2021. Last year, we had similar events focused on alumni relations, and they were attended by Alice Smith School. We have Monash University, Sunway University, MMU, IMU, UTP, and many more. There were roundtable discussions on how to adapt effectively to the new norm in managing and engaging our alumni. We will organize webinars and trainings twice a year. And we welcome suggestions and when we should conduct the second one for this year. So hence, ladies and gentlemen, alumni relations, what is critical and what is important? We believe that the pillars of alumni relations are database management system, successful alumni communications, and Alumni Engagement Index, which will be explained and elaborated further by our respected speakers today. And I would like to encourage active participation by everyone here. Should you have any questions or input, please feel free to unmute yourself and make this event a more interactive experience, as like we are all in the same room together. If the time is not permitting us to take any more questions, please write or post your questions in the chat box on the side so that we can answer them later, or we can email the answers to you personally after the event. And I would like to also remind the speakers to abide with the given time of 10 minutes each so that we can conclude our event by 12 p.m. noon today. Okay, so without further ado, let us shine our virtual spotlight to our first session on database management. This session will be presented by 3 speakers who will be sharing the effective tools that we can use in managing our alumni database. And we are privileged to have the 3 speakers, one from UTP, Sheikh Hazim, who will be sharing the user's experience with Blackboard RE-Next tools. And then followed by our speaker from Alma Shines and Toucan Tech. Okay, we will take questions only after all the 3 speakers have presented and also completed their presentation. Or you can also type or post your questions on the chat box on the side. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first presenter, Hazim.
Okay, thank you, Puan Adela. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Hazim Zaini, and I'm from Alumni Relations Office, UTP. So, when we first joined Alumni Relations Office back in 2017, because basically our office started to go full scale quite recently, we identified that the database management is not good at all, because before this, all the 20,000 details of our alumni is only being handled in Excel file. So all of the information is in one Excel file. So it is not reliable in terms of the security of the data itself, and also it is hard to manage. So there's a lot of error. So upon searching for the right tools for us to actually use, okay, we came across Razor's Edge, which is by Blackboard. So Razor's Edge is actually a customer relations management tool. It is strictly a back-end system, so it is only for our usage only, the office usage only. And for today's session, there are a lot of useful tools for Razor's Edge, but for this session, I will touch on 6 points. Okay, so Razor's Edge is actually a program developed by an Australian company, widely used in Australia and also in North America. And it is for Resist Edge, it is specifically developed for alumni management and also foundation management. For example, like Yayasan UTP. So Alumni Relations Office UTP together with Yayasan UTP, we have joined together so that we can get these tools for us to manage. Okay, one thing about Resist Edge is there are actually two interface. So first is Resist Edge and one more is Resist Edge NXT. So Resist Edge is a very technical view. Most of the time we will be using Resist Edge NXT, which is the web view. It is more user friendly, easier to use. Most of us will use Resist Edge NXT almost all of the time. System admin, those who control the page role, the user roles, import, like as in bulk import and whatnot, will be used via Resist Edge. So for this presentation, I will touch more towards Resist Edge NXT. Okay, in terms of the alumni and donor management, okay, alumni and donor management in Resist Edge and also Resist Edge NXT is very easy. So, okay, okay, Arif. In terms of the alumni and donor management, there are a lot of things that you can do. Apart from storing all of the information about your alumni, there are also a bit of a wiggle room where you can actually add a few fields that is needed for your organization, apart from what is provided straight out from the box, because this is actually an out of the box program. So from the alumni on donor management, there are two constituent types that we can record. First is individual and second is organization. So for example, for alumni, obviously we'll be only storing individual information, right, for persons. But for Yayasan UTP, for example, some of the donors are actually corporate donors. So corporate donors are organization. So the good thing about this, about the system is, this corporate profile, actually not only it will store all the information, either in terms of donation, information, contact information of the company, it can also list down all of the staff that are currently working, either the staff is a donor or an alumni, and we can mark which of the which of the staff are actually the key contact person for the company. So for example, for fundraisers, right, for me and my team, let's say if we want to contact company A, for example, we want to contact Schlumberger, for example, SLB. So that's all, we already marked which of the staff is actually the contact person for example, asking for sponsorship for student event, for example. So every single thing will be recorded inside each user profile, which I will show next in the next slide. Unfortunately, I'm not able to share a lot of the user interface itself because a lot of it will expose our, yeah. So this is me. So if you can see here, my name under there is a fundraiser, right? Because I am one of the user. And me myself is actually a graduate from UTP. So in the education tab, so you can see the school is UTP, graduated back in 2014 in petroleum geoscience. Okay, all of these tabs, if you can see here, there are 9 dots next to the arrow showing up next to the title, right? These are actually tabs. So this tab, you can collapse it, and based on the user itself, you can rearrange whatever is suitable for you. For example, for me, I'm more towards alumni contact. So I will put the education on top, the contact information, and also the constituent summary. If let's say for YUTP staff, for Yayasan UTP, they need to know a lot about the gift, right? So they can rearrange all of this tab. And all the information will be stored here. All of the records of communication will be stored here too. Okay, can we go to the previous slide? All right, okay. The next tool that is very, very useful is marketing and communication. So in Resist Edge NXT, it is already built in an email function. So this email function is very easy. You can actually do just a simple email or even a newsletter. They already have a lot of templates that you can choose, or you can generate your own template. So these email tools is very useful because not only you can blast to all of your constituent, but also you can choose either to do just a simple newsletter, or you can address personally. For example, on top of the email, it will mention dear Mr. Hazim, and then the rest of the email. Okay, and apart from that, the most important thing about the email tool is, can we go next slide and the other slide? One more. Okay, so this is actually a sample of a brief report that you can see straight from the email tool. You can see there from, for example, we have a total of 20,000 alumni, right? Not all of them we have their valid email. So it will shows here recipients 14.8K received the email. How many percent that actually open, how many click the email? For example, if we put links or whatnot, how many actually click? Okay, let's say if you use Resist Edge donor tool, they can actually straight away give donation or contribute monetary, and it will also put here if we can use that. And how many people actually open the email? Like sometimes they just brief, because in, for example, if we take Outlook, right, we can have a preview tab, but some people actually it will record how many they actually open the email itself, right? How many clicks, and transaction is this transaction rate is all about the money giving, and how many raised, how many bounce, which you can click and see what whose email has been bounced back, and how many unsubscribe. So unsubscribe is actually a very important tool in email. Okay, can we go back to the first slide? Okay, now 3 minutes left, right? Okay, in terms of user experience, as I mentioned, Resist HNXT, it is very easy. Let's say if you want to search for alumni profile, let's say if you record their student ID number, you can search using student ID. If you want to search using name, you don't have to key in the full name. Just probably, for example, my name, I just put Irshad. So they will list all of the Irshad in our database. Okay, there's also an event management tool, which is important for us alumni. And this event management tool is also tied with gift record. So let's say if we charge for each event, we sell tickets, and these tickets actually contribute to any fund or whatnot, it will record everything here. Gift management is also a very powerful tool. And the most important is relationship management. Okay, what is relationship management? Relationship management, it can be in terms of two: relationship with organization or relationship with individual. For example, like I mentioned earlier, each organization profile can be we can link individuals, right? So this relationship management actually can tie, for example, one alumni. We can see who are their colleague, who are their ex-colleague, because we can still record their previous company, and individual relationships such as a spouse or siblings, families, or even a group of friends, which you can actually set yourself. Okay, this is very important for alumni because one thing is, because as we all know, UTP has a very strong connection with the industry. So sometimes when we have a meeting with industry, either for industry partners or sponsorship or what or etc., we will bring also the list of our alumni that are currently working or worked with them before. So we can see that we have actually strong connection with them. Okay, so however, Raises Edge actually do have some setbacks. These are our challenge. Can you go to the next 3 slides? Okay, a few of the key challenges. So the name format. It sounds silly, but actually it is a big issue here in Malaysia. Since this program is developed in Australia, so they follow Western name format, right? The name, middle name, and the family name. But for us, Malaysia, we have for Malay, for Muslim, it's not a big of a problem because we know the family name is the father's name. But for Chinese name, the family name is in front. So name format is a big problem when we want to start to import our data. The flexibility is there, a lot of flexibility for you to use. Let's say you need to add a few fields, but it is limited. Some program actually have a wider range of flexibility. Users technical capability. Okay, this is mainly for Resist Edge. Resist Edge is a very technical view. It's a very straight database view. A bit hard for a lot of users to use, especially those who are not fluent in IT. But as time goes, we actually need a lot more practice. And it is a strictly back-end software. So it's only use of the office. So it is not something that will be used by the alumni itself. Okay, I think that's all from me.
Thank you, Hazim. Thank you for the sharing. Next, I would like to invite, I think Priyanka is here from Alma Shines to share your available tools for the database management.
Yeah, Mazla, my co-founder Kapil is here, so he'll be taking it forward. Yeah.
Hello, good morning to all. I would like to welcome all the participants here and thank you so much for joining us today and giving us an opportunity to share our thoughts on database management system today. So I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so basically we'll be talking about building and managing databases. So as I believe that database management tools are available out there, Alumni also provides one. But the basic thing that I wanted to cover in this meeting was what should a database management system look like? Because we all think that what feature should it have, what functionality should it have, which is a good one, which is a bad one. And I'm sure like there are solutions available out there, but we need to understand what actually works, what is an effective database management system. So first we'll start with the challenges that are faced in database management. Sometimes the data was outdated, sometimes it's tedious to update the database. Many of the times officers make calls to the alumni, write letters, follow up with them, and it's quite challenging to get a database. So for small masses, it might be simpler, but for large masses of 10,000, 20,000, it becomes next to impossible. Then there are large number of non-responsive alumni. So some mails are getting bounced, some mails are getting unsubscribed, some mails are not never opened. So there are various issues. So what do we do with that? Then distributed alumni groups across various platforms. So possibly you might have a group of 1,000 people on LinkedIn, 5,000 people on Facebook, 3,000 people maybe on Twitter. So how do we club all of that? And then certainly if you are using any software to reach out to your alumni, there would be some pool over there. So how do we converge it all? Then less alumni participation in initiatives. So if you are doing any event, any activity, any initiative, you don't receive much participation. So these are some common challenges that are associated to alumni database management. Like first, how do we bring it all together? And second, how do we make it an effective use of the same? So when we did a survey while working at Alumni Science, we reached out to alumni. We did a survey with 5,000 alumni to understand what is their perspective for the alumni relations. So over there, we realized that 20% people were happy to reconnect, that they were quite excited that, okay, we have a chance to get back to our alumni. 55% alumni found their alumni relations meaningless because there was not much for them in it. Like, what's in it for me? If it can help me professionally, if it can help me maybe get some social edge, it can help me get some guidance, or it can help me get some network. So if we are able to present them all these things, they are happy to come back, happy to participate. And then 14% alumni expected recognition. Like, okay, if my alma mater recognizes my achievements, if my alma mater recognizes my contributions, then I would be happy to go back, because these 14% people were not happy with the way their institution would have celebrated their contributions or recognitions. And then 11% are not interested at all. So either they don't know what if their institution is doing anything to connect back with them, or they don't know if it is meaningful for them, or they just don't want to get back because they feel that maybe institution or the university has some hidden intention of connecting back with them. So after understanding this, thought process, we realize that as far if we are not bringing a meaning to alumni relations, if we are not adding a meaning for alumni in alumni relations, then there is no connect, there is no database, because people would be just bouncing off your communications, that they would be like, okay, we don't want to interact, we don't want to update our information, we don't want to sign up or provide our information to our alma mater. So this is exactly in order to cover this, we designed this kind of database system. which says CVCEG. So CV means curate and validate. So first of all, the first step that we take care of is whatever database you have, be it in Excel formats, be it in loose Excels or maybe Google Sheets or whatsoever. First, the idea is to club all of it. So with Alumni's alumni platform, it is as simple as just upload your files in CSV format and all your database is segregated. Then second part to this is validation. Many of the times we have heard that institution or university has 10,000, 15,000 email IDs, but only the response rate is of 1,000 people, 2,000 people. Because possibly we are missing on the step of validating the data. If the records are valid, if the records are active, if the people are receiving the communication or the mails are getting bounced, is the email ID valid one? So in order to achieve all of that, the system comes with a very simple process which allows you to validate all your information, identify which of your records are active records, which are of your records are not active, so that our expectations are set in an encouraging way. For example, if you have 15,000 database and only 3,000 people are responsive, so you would know, okay, out of 5,000 valid people, only 3,000 are responsive. So that way the response rate is 60%. And for remaining 10,000 people, we don't even know where they are because their contacts are not valid. They are not reachable anymore. Then third part of this is communicate. So as far as we have built a database, we have reached out to our alumni, we have validated, the immediate action that comes is communicating with them, bringing them back, telling the intent of why do we want to connect back with them. If the university has something to offer for them in their professional life, we should communicate that as well. So again, for communication, Alumni's platform comes with systems to like mailing service, social media, because many people are active on social media. So even if you're not in touch with a few people, they might reach out to you through social media and then eventually coming into your system. But the idea is to grow and reach to the largest extent so that everything funnels down on your database management system. Then fourth part is engage. So engage your alumni with relevant areas to build a two-way bond. So if we are engaging them just about institute updates, they become, like it becomes cumbersome for them that, okay, why am I receiving so many institute updates? But if we are engaging, let's say we are offering them a platform where they can exchange jobs. We are offering them platform where they can access campus facilities. We are offering them platform where they can seek mentoring or grow their network. So now this is a two-way engagement. Like there's an asset that institution has created for them, which alumni can leverage for their own growth. So that makes the kind of healthy engagement for your alumni. And if everything is done right, all these four steps are done right, then growing the alumni database is the byproduct of it, right? So this was about how to build the database. But now once you have built the database, the next challenge comes is that the database has a tendency to get outdated within 1 year, 2 years. So how do we make sure that the database remains updated? So we have added 3 more steps to it: communicate, engage, update. So the pool of alumni that you already have, if you are engaging well with engaging them in a nice way, communicating well with them, if you are reaching out to them and giving them various reasons to come back. So these engagement is not something that we need to do tons of activities, tons of events. It's all online engagement that we facilitate through jobs, through mentoring, through groups, through business networking. So if I'm running a business, I can reach out to my fellow peers to validate my business model and all. So if all of this thing is done right, it creates an automatic cycle of updating the profiles because alumni are seeing a tremendous value on this platform. Alumni are trying to build their own personal network on this platform. So they would certainly like to keep their profiles up to date, like anyone does it on Facebook or LinkedIn. So if you are able to complete this cycle, it creates an ever-growing database at the time of, as well as at the same time, an auto-updating database. So if we sum up all these thoughts, so what makes an ideal database management system for us? So first, connect, which means it should give a gateway to our alumni to connect with us. So the moment I get to know about my alumni Metros alumni platform, I should be able to go, which means it should be front-facing. Alumni should have an access to it. It should be globally accessible, and alumni can sign up on it as soon as they hear about it. Next part it should have is communicate. It should be equipped with mailing software, social media, maybe WhatsApp integrations. So Alma Science's platform is equipped with all these mediums for leveraging you to connect over it. Plus, you can also have facilities like publishing of news, updates, stories, success stories of your alumni, So the moment alumni feel that our alma mater is celebrating our alumni community, they all are excited to be a part of it. But if the alumni feel that, okay, the alma mater is celebrating only the university achievements and not the alumni community, then they get slightly turned off. The next part to this is manage. So as you grow your alumni community, your office receives various functions. Alumni send requests, alumni want to come to the institute, they want to contribute. So the platform should also support how do you manage the database and their activities. So how many people are opening your communication? What is the distribution of your alumni across the globe? What is the distribution of your alumni across the industries, across the organizations? So this management and analytical part should be served by your database, because if the database is not something that you can consume and draw intelligence out of it, so then it's just like one entry per cell. That's it. So it's not something which you can draw intelligence out of it. So Alma Shines provides with a lot of intelligence, analytics, and all the updates around it. Then we have support, which like how alumni can reach out to the alma mater to seek their support if in case they need faculty recommendation, facility access, or just want to visit the campus. So this system should become a gateway for your alumni to raise their support. And the most important part is invite. So alumni should be able to invite their peers. So if this is the final step, but most crucial step, because as if we are creating a great engagement of alumni on the platform or on the system, alumni reciprocate by inviting their fellow peers. That's how any community works. That's how any social network works. That's how any platform works. So invitation is something which is most crucial. And if you have this facility, which Alma Shines also provides, then your community keeps on auto-growing mode. So let's say you start with 1,000 alumni, they come on the platform, they get engaged. Of those 500 people invite their peers. Those 500 people are again added to the platform. These also get engaged. They also invite their peers. This way, your community is automatically growing. And all these people who are coming because they are having a great engagement, they update their profiles, they participate in your initiatives, and this way we are able to create a thriving alumni community. So in order to keep this short, I just covered the theory, or say the basis on which the database management system should be developed. As at Alma Shines, we offer a free 2-month consultation. So if you are planning to build your database and if you have any queries, you can anytime reach out to us. Here's our email ID, connect@almashines.com, or you can drop us a line on almashines.io. We'd be happy to cater all your queries and would be happy to assist you.
Thank you, Kapil. Thank you so much for your information, Alma Shines. If you have any questions, please post it in the chat box. And then if also you like to encourage the speakers to actually answer the questions right away on the chat box. Yeah. All right. So next, let us invite Jade and Marine from Toucan Tech to share your tools. Take it away.
Thanks very much. Is the presentation coming up on the screen? Perfect, thanks for that. So introducing myself, I'm Marin from Toucan Tech. My background is education marketing, and I was one of the early Toucan Tech customers in Australia. I love the product so much that I decided to work for Toucan Tech, and now I look after this region and beyond. So moving to that next slide, please. So the thing that we believe sets Toucan Tech apart is we are not only a full database and CRM system, but we also provide the alumni engagement platform. So it works for both the administrators and the alumni themselves or the users. And included in that, you receive an online community so that they can engage, and all of that engagement activities is held within the database, so you can start to understand and learn a bit about your alumni community. And it also includes a website component. So there's an externally facing website where you can share content to reach out to your alumni, or also the online community. So it's you can show different content to those that are actually registered as members. And we're just going to cover a couple of high-level features. We don't have a lot of time here. Doesn't include everything, but a couple of key features that relate particularly perhaps to alumni management and database management. So the first one is the embedded email engine that sits within the system. So you can go straight from your database to send beautifully designed emails. The next one is a news tool, which you can categorize different news components, and you can use those news features, those news stories to then embed them in your email communications or share them to social media. The benefit of that is that also the users or the alumni themselves can also share through social media those stories. We have the ability to also add your correspondence to alumni to the database. So that's a very valuable feature to understand the engagement that's occurring. Also really valuable as organisations are thinking about pursuing fundraising and philanthropic activities as you steward major donors over time, to have that correspondence included within the database itself. Next, one of the helpful features for alumni teams is that we have automated trigger-based campaign emails that can go out. And I'll talk through an example of that in a moment. And moving through, we have a activity tracker component, which is where you can see on the database record the events that people are attending and have been invited to, the emails that they've opened and they've clicked on, as well as any other logged activity, the emails that might have been sent to them by team members, and or meetings and phone calls that you might be having with them. They can all be logged and tracked within the system. We have a great and granular consent management system, so I'll show you a visual of that. And finally, we have a very advanced feature around being able to run filters and build up filters that are customized to your own query, which is really great to understand engagement of alumni in your program of activities, as well as looking for future donors. So next slide. So I'm going to give you a quick look at a database record. Fair to say that Toucan Tech was built for educational institutions, and that is our primary market. So we continually build out our product for educational schools and universities based on feedback. Next slide. So there is a simple visual of the summary page of our database record and some of the information held. A lot of that is customizable. You can have additional user groups. You can hold records for organizations as well as for individuals, and you can attach individuals to those organizations, and you can connect people relationally between the different records as well. Not shown here, but you can have customized fields, and there's no limitation with Toucan Tech on the number of different customized fields that you can have. Moving through. So the data that you collect, you can use to personalize particularly your email communications. Is one of our most frequent marketing tools that we all use in alumni relations. Next one. So this is a visual of our email builder, and it just is showing you that you can insert merged fields, the data that's held within your database. And that is the power of having that database marketing tools, as well as the alumni community components all sitting in the one system. You can go straight from your database to sending a campaign, and then you can use the fields that sit within the database to create really personalized one-on-one communications as shown there. Hi. You can use the news tool. We also have an events management system on the product as well. So all of those that sit on your website for people to register, you can also quickly insert them into your email communications and share those really simply. So next slide will show you a visual of that. Again, another customer example where they've inserted some of their alumni engagement events, and the system can manage both physical events as well as virtual events. Obviously, we're running a lot more of those now, and it's really easy to insert some of the news stories as well. So you can create regular newsletters in the click of a couple of buttons, which just speeds up the efficiency of your advancement and alumni offices. Next slide. In addition, additional functionality, so you can enrich the media content by adding videos, attachments, different forms, donation buttons. So a lot of our schools can run fundraising campaigns through the system itself. straight to those alumni contacts. And the next visual shows a couple of examples doing that. So for example, an attachment, a press release, perhaps you want to attach that to one of your emails, that can be added. And then over in the right, there's a visual of someone's progress on a building. Next slide. So you can track email content. We'll go to the example. This shows you some of the statistics on an email campaign. You literally can see what the different content items are working for you. You can see what links people are clicking on, and also manage all of your unsubscribes and keep your database clean. Next slide. Moving through to consent management. So the next slide has a visual of our consent management piece. So if the individual is a community member and online, they can update their consents whenever they want, or the administrators can update their consents. And you can also send out campaigns to keep consent preferences up to date. Next slide. So there's a lot of ability to set up the automated campaigns, which I mentioned. So if you move to the next slide, there's an example of our birthday campaign. So knowing that you hold the date of birth in the system, it will systematically send a triggered birthday email to individuals as their birthday comes up. You can be as creative as you like, you can add videos to that message, and that's shown to drive engagement back without you having to do anything. You just set that campaign up and it will roll and hit individuals as their birthdays come up, and it brings them back to the website to engage off the back of that. Next slide. Syncing the records. So this is what I mentioned. If you move to the next slide, it shows you an example of how that's held on the database record. So there's a conversation of email to and from an individual about various activities and how that's held in the system. And there in that same area, you would see the events and the emails that they've accepted. Next slide. There's a couple of our customers, some of them that you may be familiar with. We are very happy for anyone to be put in touch with them. If you don't know these customers, we're happy for anyone to speak to our customers. They're our best reference about our product and can share their own personal experience. Next slide. Or you can get in touch with Toucan Tech too. I'd love to hear your questions. You can also visit our website and get in touch with one of our teams to organise a more detailed demonstration if any of this is of interest to you and you'd like to learn more. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Marion. Thank you so much for the interesting presentation. So now we have all the three tools available. If you would like to know more about these three database management system, you can actually contact to the presenters directly. Probably the presenters can put your contact details in the chat box so that the audience, any audience would like to know more about the details of this database management system can contact you directly. So we have to quickly move on to the next agenda. So our second critical part of alumni relations is successful alumni communication. So let us welcome Ms. Dalia Sharani Muhammad Yusuf from Multimedia University to deliver your presentation. Over to you, Dalia.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. A good day. So I'm Dalia from Center for Alumni Multimedia University. Let's go to the first page of the slide. Okay, thank you. All right, so I will be talking about successful alumni communication based on the experience at Multimedia University. So I'll try to give some insights on what we do. So let's go to the next slide. So in general, we have about 63,000 alumni since the year 2000. However, the next slide. Okay, so when we have 63,000, we brand our alumni with a name called Permata Dunia. So whenever we communicate to our alumni, we will call them Permata Dunia of MMU based on Faculty of Engineering or FCM and so on. So the next slide. So what is Permata Dunia? So Permata Dunia literally in English is called Gems of the World. So it's a polished gems that we would like them to glitter, and finally they would be useful to the communities and also the world. So that's our vision on our Permata Dunia, or gems of the world. Next one. This is the criteria of our alumni. So when we analyze from 63,000, I have to entertain from various 10 faculties. We have law, we have engineering, we have business, we have creative multimedia. We also have high profile alumni, and they come from different industries, and we also have different nationalities. These are the challenges that we have to think about when we consider what kind of communication that we want to do with them. Okay, next one. However, this is also our focus as a center. No matter what kind of diversity we have, they, as a human being, as an alumni, as a graduate, this is what they need. They need to belong, they need support. So when we focus on communication, it has to be two-way communication, fulfilling the demands of the alumni as well as fulfilling the demand of the university. Next one. So the function of Center for Alumni is actually to find the right balance. What MMU or Multimedia University needs, of course, we want them to contribute, to give back, to give testimony based on their industrial experience, to provide mentoring and so on, and of course, monetary support. But for alumni also, we need to figure out what they need. Do they need career support? Do they need business support, personal support, networking, and many more? So next one. So this is part of our job as a center who link between the alumni and the university. I have to try to find the right balance, the perfect balance. Okay, next one. Let me just share with you some of the activities that we do. Let's view some posters. Next slide. This is the first alumni talk that we had during MCO. It is a virtual live event that was successful, and so we decided to consistently have it every month. So since July last year, now we have a monthly talk, and this year I've rebranded the talk into Alumni Vibes. So next slide. This is a sample of another successful talk. This is a collaboration with government-linked universities, UNITAN, UTP, and UniKL. And we managed to garner a viewer of about 5,000 plus. Next one. And this is the sample of our latest engagement, alumni sharing. Next one. Okay, in terms of technique on how do I analyze what kind of communication. So these are the SWOT analysis, like the strengths and opportunities. We have resourceful alumni, we have alumni who are high profile, we have reputable university, but at the same time, our weakness is that we have a very low budget as a center, and we only have 2 staff as a manpower. So whatever we do, we have to make it impactful. In terms of threats, we have very outspoken alumni, and also we have demanding alumni since they come from various industries, they come from various backgrounds, various nationalities as well. Okay, next one. Since we have 8 developed tools, we do have our own website, and we constantly upgrade, and we have forms in the website as well for them to say that they want to volunteer for sharing and so on. So we utilize this website to advertise our events and all the other activities as well. Next one. Following the brand of Permata Dunia, our Facebook and also our Instagram is also called Permata Dunia. And we constantly ask them to update as well on our social media. Okay, next slide. And we also established LinkedIn. We also have YouTube, and we also have so many more. Okay, let's talk about collaboration. So since I've mentioned that our weakness is actually we have very limited staff, so I rely on a lot of collaboration when we do communication with our alumni. Okay, next slide. An example of one alumni sharing. So there will be various parties involved. The first thing, of course, the alumni, the right choice of alumni. And I also choose to involve students because we need to gain the crowd and we need to make sure that the program is visible among MMU community. So that's why usually I choose a student as the moderator. We also have alumni society. So sometimes we involve them and they co-organize the event. They sponsor some of the budget also for the event. And I also work with the faculty in order to develop the concept, because even though we have alumni talk, it's not necessarily sharing throughout the session. We may have commercial breaks, we have playback videos. So all the other inputs I need to organize and discuss with the faculty on what kind of concept that will be suitable for each faculty. And finally, my best friend for all these alumni events is MMU Studios. I think we have a very good collaboration with MMU Studios. For example, next slide. Okay, so when we do our events, if it is not MCO with strict regulations, then usually we will have a hybrid kind of event where the shooting with the speaker and moderator will be conducted at the studio and at a venue in MMU. So any venue in MMU. MMU Studios will support with the equipments. We have a very good production officer. We have a very good creative director. So they are very helpful in terms of organizing an event. Even though we are doing it virtually, the concept is also developed so that it will accommodate the audience as well. So a strong handshake with MMU Studios is my major collaborator as well. Next one. Okay, so I have to think about, since again, we would like to make an impactful despite our limitations during the pandemic. So I have to consider many things. So for example, next slide. This would be my philosophy. So whenever I think about a certain program, I have to make sure that it is strongly visible to MMU community and extended families, most importantly, and the public, if possible. It is eye-catching, it has commercial value. So whenever I design posters and the content and the concept, so I need to think about whether it's really appealing to the public. And then it is impactful to the university. So these people will come back to the university to contribute in the long term. And then we have more prospects joining MMU. And also at the end, also last but not least, we have to make sure that it is also beneficial to the alumni. So that's a worthwhile collaboration. Okay, how do I develop the communication in detail? Next. This is the whole journey. So there's a lot of decisions involved actually, beginning with the speaker. So usually I would try to gain speakers who have their own followers in order to make it impactful and visible. Hopefully the followers will also make the event visible to many other crowds. Next platform, whether I would like to do in hybrid, is it a physical event, hybrid event, or is it on MMU platform, or is it on Permata Dunia platform? So that's also a decision to make. Promotional materials. So what kind of promotion do I need to put content just for posters? What is on the poster is also the first decision to make. And then how do I blast the posters as well? And is it going to be promotion for 2 weeks? Is it going to be promotion for 1 week? And what would be the content that I need to arrange from day one until the day of the countdown. Content decisions, even though it is talk and sharing, but again, I need to think about whether there should be another video inserted, whether promotional video could be inserted, and so on. Communication target decisions, who is the target? Mainly, of course, I would like the general public, including MMU communities. The very least is the student themselves who are involved with the alumni. Channel decisions, so as I mentioned, we have 8 developed tools. So I need to consider the tools, or maybe we also consider the tools and the platforms that we have by the faculties and also by MMU. So next slide. All right, wrapping up. So these are the details on the decisions. Even in communication content, I also need to include speaker profile as the promotional material sometimes, the company profile or the moderator profile, inputs during the live event. So maybe I could consider whether there could be visual aids included, and then whether I could consider certain kind of Permata Dunia updates or alumni updates. And then the channel decision, as I mentioned, whether it's on MMU, which one has more impact. So these are also discussed by the Center of Alumni with the marketing department, with the studio team, the technical team, with the faculty and all those collaborators. So I hope this is the end of my session. Oh, question. We have question
thank you,
here.
Dalia.
Is the production?
Yes. Dalia, I think we can, because in view of time, so I think there's quite a number of questions for you, Dalia, in the chat box. So probably you can actually, you can actually address the questions one by one later on during the next session. Again, thank you, Dalia. It's a very interesting presentation. We certainly can learn quite a number of things from your presentation, and we hope that the audience can adapt and adopt some of the things that you shared just now. All right, so we have to move on to the next one. Next, the Alumni Engagement Index has been one of the critical tools to measure the effectiveness of alumni engagement plans and strategy. It is important to have a quantifiable measurement for us to decide our next plan, as well as to help the management to make informed decisions on alumni engagement strategy. To elaborate further on Alumni Engagement Index, let us welcome Ms. Mazna Ramli from UTP. Mazna, over to you.
All right. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Greetings from University Technology Petronas. Right. Thank you so much to EAPC for giving me another opportunity to present. And this year we will talk about Alumni Engagement Index. Right. It is truly an honor to share you on the alumni best practices, but I am certain that different institutions have different way of measuring engagement success. Right. To make things clear, please take note that there is no single best method of measuring alumni engagement index due to many different factors, different expectation, reporting styles. But I personally would encourage all of you to refer to Council for Advancement and Support of Education, or CASE, as the most reliable source of reference. Right? Okay. Let me begin my presentation today with the overview of UTP alumni. Currently, we have 20,743 graduates, 70,000 of them are local, 2,992 are international students. So as you can see here, our alumni are currently everywhere around the globe, and the highest concentration would be in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. So if you go by continents, the highest number would be in Southeast Asia. Right? Because we have alumni residing and working in various countries, means that we need to have a very good strategies to how to stay connected and how to ensure that our communication runs smoothly across the countries. And that is why we establish international alumni chapters. As you can see on the screen, we have currently 9 countries of alumni chapters. And then for those who are unable to establish alumni chapters, we have alumni groups, and we have 5 UTP alumni groups all around the world, right? And also we do have local alumni chapters. There are around 10 of them around the Malaysia. Okay, so let's talk about the types of engagements that we do with our alumni. Okay, due to the current restriction movement order, we are unable to do many physical events. So we switch to the online mode for almost all of our alumni activities. So these are among the engagement and communication activities that we do to connect with our alumni. All right, so here's to share with you some of the posters and the programs that we did. We have webinar session and also online session that we do with our collaborators and also with our alumni prominent. One of it is with our Yang Berhormat Senator Wan Ahmad Faisal, who is currently Deputy Minister of Sports and Youth. Right, and also we do have alumni engagement sessions with the students through programs like MPU4. We do online international engagements with our respective countries every month. It's a monthly event chaired by our Vice Chancellor, Prof. Muhammad Ibrahim. All right, and we also do festival celebrations to keep our alumni engaged and participating in our competitions, they can do wishes, so to keep the communication goes on, right? So we have spoken all about engagement and activities that we have done with our alumni. So now let's talk about the engagement, the definition of the alumni engagement, right? Not everyone knows what is the definition of alumni engagement. Can a simple hi, hello, and assalamualaikum can be considered or categorized as alumni engagement? Let's check it out. Okay, I discovered there are many various of definitions for alumni engagements, but the one that is most resonate and most closest to my experience is taken from this one, right? It's defined as the level of attraction, connection, affection, and also influence that alumni has with their alma mater over time. All right. So as you can see on the screen, all right, each activity or giving behavior can be segmentized by different levels. Okay, for example, if the alumni who might not have much activities with the university, okay, but upon receiving emails from us, from the university, he or she will open the email, reads the newsletter, or register on anything of online services or activities, this alumni can be categorized as on the attraction level, right? But if the alumni not only open or reads the newsletter, but amplifies whatever information that they have, right, and then share it through their Facebook or their Instagram, this alumni can be categorized at the connection level. So there's a next second level. So the third level is the affection level. Is those alumni who not only advocates the input that they get from the university, but they also volunteer or participate in the important events, or perhaps may take the lead or have an important roles that he or she likes to do in the events. And the highest level is the influence level. These group of alumni are champions of the university in propagating the mission of the university, and probably will promote or present the university at the best level, right? But however, these levels may vary according to your own definitions of alumni engagements. All right, now let us talk about the Alumni Engagement Index, or some people call it Alumni Engagement Metrics, right? Alumni engagement, or AEI, has also different kind of definitions in various articles, right? But the simplified version that I can share with you is the university engagement metric that measures alumni giving, communication, experience, and volunteerism, right? So why do we need to have alumni engagement index, right? Quantitatively speaking, measuring alumni engagement can demonstrate the tangible impact of our alumni outreach efforts. So this means that we need a quantitative measurement. We want to have a solid and a reliable indicator on the engagement activities that we have invested to our alumni. And we need to have statistics and values to understand where we are in delivering the best quality services. All right. Okay, here are some of other explanations on what are the purpose of measuring alumni engagement. Okay, number one, to translate and communicate the work of our alumni office. All right, because they will tell us how good our service are, whether it's at the right quality, meaningful enough or not, so relevant or not. So that's why we need to measure our alumni engagement, right? Sorry. The next one is set goals and plan your future efforts based on the past result. It is important to have our previous report and data analysis so that we will be able to have a better future planning. Right. Number three is benchmark your performance. Right. This will help us to evaluate our performance and to check where we are comparing to other partners. Okay. Number four is show tangible progress towards goals. Right, so data reports is one of the most important ways to validate success and to reach for goals and revise our areas of improvements. Right. Number five, demonstrate how engagement is impacting other areas. So when we have the data analysis and engagement index, it will further lead to verifying the effectiveness and impact of our whatever that we are doing, and then we can also verify other departments as well. Right. And of course, when we have good alumni engagement index results as a good outcome, it is surely a valid success to celebrate and not just a personal opinions. All right, so what do we need to have in order to measure Alumni Engagement Index? Number one is we need to have a very clear definition of alumni. Number two is the definition of the engagement categories, right? That can be considered as engagement. And number three is data collection, reporting, and analysis. So all these three elements are very important to measure our Alumni Engagement Index. Right. When I was segmentizing alumni into categories, donors, volunteers, attendees, collaborators, and so on, I find it very lengthy to say it one by one. So hence I coined the term alumni contributors. So alumni contributors refers to all alumni who contributes back to the university, either in a form of monetary, right, philanthropy, or through engagement, or through communication, or volunteers, right? Let me explain here. Right, so starts with our alumni database. I believe that everyone has their own main alumni database, all right? And then we will identify which category of alumni involvements can be considered as alumni engagement and contributors. Okay, number one is the philanthropy alumni contributors. This one who are the donors for monthly, once off, and in kind. Number two is the communication category. These alumni who provides information, who responded to survey, who responded to our social media, interacted via newsletter, brand advocates, and so on. Okay. Number three is the volunteer category of alumni contributor. This one are referring to those affinity group leaders, the hosts and the organizers, career advisors, for example, those who are leaders in the alumni chapters, and for UTP we have advisory councils and board of trustees. And number four category of alumni contribution is the experiential alumni. So this one is based on their attendees, participants, or those activities which not only that they are giving back to the university, but the one that they benefit from. So like MOU, research, collaborators, so they will also, the alumni will also gain the benefits from that. So these are all, we call it alumni contributors, right? So once we have all these alumni, but one more thing before I forget, all these suggested names of alumni list from all these categories, right? The most important element is to make sure that all names is filtered and identified as unique contributors. Now, what do I mean by unique contributors is, for example, an alumni named Joe. He is an active donor, also a volunteer, a leader, actively participating in various events. We only count him as one alumni contributor. So it is a unique contributor, right? So once you have all these unique contributors, you are ready to calculate for Alumni Engagement Index. All right, this is a simple formula that we use for our department, right? All you have to do is just to get the number of alumni unique contributors, and then you divide by number of active or living contactable alumni. Now, why living and contactable alumni? Because these are the ones that we are able to engage with. Remember that we are measuring engagement index, right? So if they are not reachable, they are not contactable, so we can categorize them as non-contactable alumni, or probably from the disease list of alumni. Right, so that is on calculating engagement index. Okay, you may refer to the case of Case Alumni Engagement Metric Survey, AEM 2019, or the latest one, AEM 2020, which has been laid out in the framework metric called White Paper, which includes global alumni professional involvements and institutions. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Masna. Thank you for this interesting presentation. I think we have a number of questions for you also in the chat box. Probably you can respond that personally afterwards. So, ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the 5 minutes overrun of this program. So we have actually come to the end of our session. So I must give my sincere gratitude and many thanks to all the participants for attending today's event. Thank you all for your attention and your questions. And in due to time, we are sorry that we are not able to entertain all the questions live, but we will take all the questions personally. And if, let's say, we are not able to answer it now, we will email to you the answers. Yeah. And also not forgetting the team who have made this event a reality despite their busy schedule. I want to thank to Mushame of ISKL, Cindy of IMU, and also Mazda of UTP who volunteer to assist us in organizing this wonderful event. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all of them. And thank you all speakers who have made time to share your valuable inputs and also your valuable experience. So before we leave, I would like to invite all the participants to give your feedback. There's this feedback form appended in the chat box on the right. And also to encourage anyone who is not a member of EAPC to apply as a member to the membership form. Also, there's a link in the chat box for that as well. So if you wish to join the membership later, you can also find the link in our website, and also you can contact any one of us to assist you further. Yeah. So before we leave, I would like to have like a quick photography session, if it's all right with you. So if you can actually switch on your camera so that all of us can see you and we can take pictures all together. So maybe we can have like 2 minutes of it. Everyone? So probably we can wait for 30 seconds for us to get ready with our camera. Arif. Okay. Is our cameraman ready?
Everyone? That's Cindy, right? Cindy's the cameraman, camerawoman, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, is everyone ready with the camera? Okay, are we still waiting? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3.
Do you want to do freestyle?
Yeah, freestyle. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on.
Thank you. Ah, another one.
Another one.
Okay.
Okay, freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Yay.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you all for attending, and then we hope to see you again in our future event. If you have, please feel free to put all your feedbacks and your comments and your ideas or suggestion in the feedback form. Yeah. So thank you so much. Have a productive day ahead and stay safe, everyone, and stay well. Thank you. All the best. Assalamualaikum.